Motherfucking Sans in Smash! I can't fucking turn it down. Motherfucking Sans in Smash, bitch!
He fucking did it, boy.
Sans confirmed.
Sans is in Smash.
This is already old news as of us recording this episode, and now it will be ancient news by the time this episode comes out.
But we would be absolutely remiss not to acknowledge it.
We have to celebrate the most important thing in life, which is Sans in Smash.
I mean,
also, I forgot to move the TV forward.
Here's the thing. Sans is basically the foundation of our relationship, so we would really be neglectful not to celebrate his entry into the pantheon of Smash characters.
I didn't talk about this before, but when I proposed to Hope, I was cosplaying Sans, so it is canonically part of our relationship and engagement.
Exactly.
We would not be here without Sans.
Thank you, Sans.
When we went on our first date, we played Undertale, and then we, you know, the first time we made love, it was while reading Undertale fanfiction. Yeah, so we were we were just reading it for the plot initially, but then we got so turned on by the gay relationships between Sans and Papiro. We were very aroused, and we could not help ourselves.
And that's how Victor lost his virginity.
Yes, that's how I lost my virginity while watching Undertale fanfiction. I think I can put this down. And then maybe I can like
create some sort of blockage.
Time whack it through there. I think.
I don't know that this
I was hoping it would just slide, but now it's
let's see what happens.
Got quite the upward trajectory. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
That worked. I'm a genius.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm a genius. I hacked the game.
But yeah, all that being said, we got to give Sans his due, you know.
Yeah.
Make sure that
this is a whole
we respect
a whole guy.
That's a whole boy.
Wow. Wow.
In this house, we love and
respect
Sans,
okay? If you don't respect Sans in this house, then you can get out of this house. You can get right out of this house.
Oh Lord. Oh jeez.
That didn't quite move with the platform.
That didn't quite do what we thought it would do, but hey, it's all good.
It is all good. Now I'm gonna take that
and stop up.
I like the way the lava like drips off.
Yeah, cool. So you can burn yourself to death with the lava.
Yeah, you can hurt your ice cube. And you gotta put it right in there.
Yeah.
There you go.
What a good boy.
Yeah, he's just here to help.
Yeah.
Anywho,
but
topics.
Congratulations, Sans.
Yeah, for making it into Smash.
Yeah.
Settle it in Smash.
Settle it in.
I mean, they did kind of cop out by making him a B fighter, but good enough.
I mean, you know,
good enough.
A win's a win, right?
A win is a win. What's in there?
Ooh. Fly on in there.
I guess I should.
What the fuck's up?
Quing. Swing.
Oh, Jesus.
Treasure. Anywho, most of my life lately, because the place I've been working for is going through like some kind of company merger, so they don't have any work for me right now or for a while. So I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem, guys. I don't think I talked about it last time, but I'm about 95 hours in or so into the new Fire Emblem game.
Right.
So I got some thoughts. I got some takes. I got some opinions because as you may all know, I believe this is a well-established fact. I'm a big fan of the Fire Emblem franchise. I've at least played every fucking one of the games beyond like the Nintendo ones, but they remade all of those on the DS, and I played them and beat them in Japanese. I've played quite a lot of Fire Emblem. It's been a good old time. Motherfucker, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
how
getting
is this
distracted
supposed
by
to work?
Trying to, like, maybe I could like put it up there and then freeze it.
You'd have
like,
to
time
go
freeze
really
it.
fast.
Or I could just kind of scoot this along while I hold the block.
Can you though?
So I can, like, put it up and then, like, stop time. And I was kind of scooting it. I was scooting it a minute ago.
Well.
So I can move it.
Now you're also kind of doing this. Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Okay, it's
the
not
boy.
actually that close. What are you buying? What are you selling?
What are you selling?
I'm so torn between, like, are my thoughts on the new Fire Emblem game interesting at all, or does no one give a shit about Fire Emblem in any way? I'm not sure, you know?
I mean, I feel like more people than you think give a shit about Fire Emblem. It seemed like a lot of people were talking about it on Twitter.
To me, it's like, you know, supposedly, like, the last bunch of games were real popular, but, like, I still don't know anyone who's beaten any of them, so, like, I don't know if anyone actually cares, or if they temporarily care. Sort of like how everyone gets Pokemon, but, like, not everyone beats it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is it something that people actually finish?
Can you...
I don't know.
Like...
Or, like, feel strongly about?
Make an ice block under it?
Probably overthinking this.
Yeah, I mean, I know we are.
I got bombs. I got freezies.
Yeah, can you do a block underneath of him to push him up? And then he, like...
there has to be water to do a block.
Ah, fuck, yeah.
Is there another thing around here that I forgot? No. Do. Ice block. There's a metal block. There's a pillar in the middle of the room. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong here? Ice arrow. Not quite.
Close.
I've got freezy powers. I can freeze this in the air if I could get it up there.
Yeah, but the problem is...
I can't get them up there. What's up there? Maybe I can go up there? No?
It's very hard.
Like, this is a thing I can do.
Be stupid. And then you can squish yourself.
I am mentally retarded, so this is gonna take a minute.
I think the best thing about the new Fire Emblem game is that you can fuck your students.
Yes, literally every time I'm playing the game, Hope walks up to me and goes, "Have you fucked your students yet?" Because in Fire Emblem Awakening, you could have relationships and fuck. And so it's assumed about every one of the other games that you could also fuck, but you cannot fuck in this game. Unfortunately, you cannot fuck in the game. There's no fucking at all.
Yeah, but what if you get a perfect tea time?
You can get a perfect tea time. So in this game, they added a mechanic where you can invite your basically anyone to go get tea with you. And then it's like a dating sim thing where you have to you have to introduce interesting topics depending on their personality and try to accomplish the coveted goal of the perfect tea time, which is next to impossible. But once you achieve the perfect tea time, then you get to look into your waifu's eyes and you get to stare at them and compliment them, and it raises their affinity shit, you know, and you can give them unlimited gifts when you're the perfect tea time.
I honestly just like hearing Victor say perfect tea time. I don't know, I was thinking about it, it's really funny.
It's pretty hilarious when it happens. You're like, yes, perfect tea time.
Watching an adult man talk about getting a perfect tea time with like some anime girl.
So basically the point of the game is to get the perfect tea time. There's literally no other point of the game.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I don't know why you would play it if you're not trying to accomplish the coveted perfect tea time.
Getting a perfect tea time, yeah.
Because otherwise you're essentially wasting your tea time.
Correct.
I'm gonna get a new perspective on this. I want to talk about Fire Emblem, but I gotta figure this out. What the fuck am I not doing right here? Do I just smack it through the fire, maybe? But then it's gonna get hurt by the fire. Is there a metal thing that I missed? God. I'm so stupid. Okay, so... Fuck. What do I even say about Fire Emblem? It took me about 60 hours to beat it the first time.
Yeah.
And then there's a New Game Plus. The worst part of this game is that, like, they added a fuckload of new, interesting mechanics to, like, make character grinding more interesting and easier. But, like, it makes the game very easy. So, like, of course I'm going to play it through the first time on hard mode. But, like, it never amounted to, like, a ton of challenge. Partially because, like, what made the old games challenging, especially on the GBA, even though it's kind of unique to the GBA, is that, like, in Fire Emblem 7, the one that people know the best on the Game Boy Advance, like, the game, there's no grinding in it. It's just a series of missions, and it makes it really hard because if you don't execute everything perfectly and kind of, like, treat all of your guys equal, like, if you try to play it like Pokemon and you use your strongest guys, like, exclusively, and you don't kind of level up all of your weaker guys along the way, it can become really hard because there's no second chance and there's no way to grind your weaker troops. So you can kind of get to a point where you fucked yourself. And that's a reason why it was really hard. And then there was also because, like, if a guy dies, they're dead forever. And, like, the only way to go back is to restart your save. Which is how it was for most Fire Emblem games up until the game previous to this one. This is fucking me. What am I doing?
I'm not confident.
Alright, let's just try to smack it through.
Sure.
This is getting ridiculous. Oh! 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 Oh!
Oh my god!
Oh! Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow!
I'm such a fucking dumb fuck.
We are very
God damn it, that took me way too long.
special.
Fucking hell.
Oh man.
It's to use two powers at the same fucking time, dipshit. Oh my god, my brain is fried. I'm so done. Jesus Christ. So anyways, this Fire Emblem game introduces a new mechanic that was kind of there in the previous game, which is that you can turn back time.
If I could turn back time.
Yes, exactly.
And Cher is there.
Cher is there. But I think in the last game, it limited you to, like, once or twice that you could do that in a level. So it was a thing where, like, if you're fucking 40 minutes deep into this mission, you're right at the end, and then one of your guys dies, you could be like, okay, well, this is fucking bullshit, I don't want to play this entire thing again, let me rewind time so that I don't have to do it again, And it was like, it was amazing, because it makes it a little bit easier, but it also saves you so much time.
Are you saying you like easy baby games for babies?
Yes, I like easy beta games for babies. Because it's one of those things with the difficulty in Fire Emblem where there's kind of the trade-off of, like, do I want it... You want it to be... You don't want it to be too easy, but you also don't want to waste your fucking time a lot, Because there's certain levels of Fire Emblem that can be very trial and error in terms of, like, how you can get through it. Because there will be, like, fog of war stages where, like, you literally can't see anything, and you have to proceed with caution. So if a guy jumps out, and you can just kind of be fucked, And the game's all based on random number generation. So, like, no matter how well prepared you are, a guy can get a critical hit on you and just fuck you, So, like, there's certain things that can feel like, oh, fuck, you made, like, a simple little mistake and it cost you, like, an hour of time, you know, or you're getting close to the end, you get a little sloppy, and then all of a sudden it introduces like, oh, 4 more troops showed up on the enemy side. You're like, well, there's no way I could have known that was gonna happen. So, like, you know, it helps deal with those situations where you're like, okay, at least I can rewind time now that I know that troops are gonna show up halfway through the thing. And then I'll be prepared for that and not have to waste a bunch of fucking time, because these missions can be long as shit, you know? It could take you hours and hours to beat them. So, like, on some of the older games, I don't even know how long I played them for, because you have to restart from the beginning of a level, and it doesn't keep your time that you've been playing.
Yeah.
Because you had to restart. So, like, you'll be playing the game and be like, oh, I've played for 40 hours, but you think, like, oh, it's probably triple that because of how many times I've had to restart these missions, you know? So, like, you spend a lot of fucking time just retrying and retrying and retrying. So, like, in a way, you know, it takes the difficulty down significantly to be able to rewind time. So in the previous game, I think it was limited to like 1 or 2 usages where you could do that. In this game, you can get, I think I'm at like 9. I can do it like 9 times. And I will do it. Like, they give me this, and so it makes the game first easier in the way that, you know, it's a lot more forgiving of your mistakes and you waste a lot less time. So you feel like there's less of a challenge, but then that leads you to try less on a moment-to-moment basis, because you know if you make a mistake, you can just redo it. So you'll take bigger risks, you know, you'll be like, oh, maybe I can crit that guy, I'll just go ahead and attack him, because you're not so worried about, like, is this strategy going to work out, or am I going to be fucked? You're not proceeding with as much caution. You're willing to take big risks for big rewards, basically.
Big risk, big reward.
Sometimes that can lead to more fun, because you go like, oh, I'll try out this new sort of method of approach, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, you know? And then if it doesn't, I'll just rewind time. But yeah, it can also make it really fucking mundane when you're kind of grinding around, and you're like, none of this matters. Or when you do a long mission and you're like, okay, well, I guess I can just rewind to the first turn or something because I fucked up. But then it's also, like, it helps so much now that I'm replaying the game, which I did immediately, which, like, I don't think I've ever beaten any Fire Emblem game twice. Like, I've gotten probably halfway through them twice. And I've made several attempts at a lot of games. I don't think I've ever beaten one twice, because it gets to the point where you just played this game for 80 hours to beat it.
Right.
And now you're going to play it again on a higher difficulty, and it's going to be harder. So, like, it's impossible to get through without just giving up, because you're just like, I can't do it, you know? Like, I don't have time for this. Like, you just feel like you're wasting your fucking life. But with this game, because of those mechanics that make it easier, and because they have New Game Plus stuff that makes it easier, like, I'm already almost like 75% of the way through the second playthrough of the game, which I did twice as fast as the first playthrough, just because they made it so fucking easy that, like, it's not hard to get back into it. But I don't know. It's the weird double-edged sword where it's like, I think they haven't released a harder difficulty yet, which they're gonna do as DLC, which fucking sucks, because it's a game that's you're obviously meant to replay. And, like, while I'm enjoying my second playthrough, it would be nice to have a harder difficulty to feel like I'm accomplishing something and not just playing the game again easier, you know? It's weird.
New Game Plus.
I have various feelings, because the New Game Plus makes it so, like, you can basically start with a huge advantage and, like, level up your characters faster and have all their growth, like their character growth goes faster, and all your min-maxing stat grinding shit goes really, really fast the second time through. So it leads to making your troops, like, really strong and making the gameplay sort of easy and arbitrary. And then you can, like, even if you fuck up, you can rewind time. So, like, you're not ever really losing. It's weird, because it's like, yeah, it makes it really replayable, because it's not a slog, you know?
Yeah.
But then it also makes it feel like, am I accomplishing anything? Because they didn't include the higher difficulty immediately. But at least that makes it because there's 4 stories in the game. Like, there's 4 quest lines you can go down. So, ideally, the game wants you to play it 4 times. So I guess it's good that the second playthrough, like, you play it through once, faster. It's got a little bit of a challenge. Second playthrough, you're breezing through, but, like, there is a catharsis to it, where, like, things that you didn't understand before, now you understand. Things that took a while before now go fast, and so you can breeze through it and just kind of enjoy the story and, like, and feel like a badass. Like, the games do, towards the end, always give you a feeling like you're a bad motherfucker, and, like, you know, the game used to be hard and now it's easy because you've figured out how to play it right and you've grown your characters. Like, it's almost like Dark Souls, where towards the beginning of the game it's always way harder, and then the more you get into it, the more you learn and the better you get, and then by the end you feel like a fucking badass, and then the last level is, like, really hard, you know, which in this game it was, like, the last 2 or 3 levels were where the challenge really picked up, and, like, just having your divine pulse skills of rewinding time. There was one time where I actually used, like, all 8 retries and didn't beat the mission. And I was like, this is the best level because it was hard enough for me to exhaust all of my tries, you know? So that was pretty good. And then you feel like a fucking badass. How did I end up... What is this? What is this?
I don't know.
First person view. How do I not do this?
Why not?
Shit. Well, I broke the game. What am I doing? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing in this game.
I was wondering, like, are we gonna go back for the camel?
Yeah. Because I had to go get the Thunder Helm to continue the story, but then, like, it led me out into this Icelands, and I'm just like, I'm hanging out in the Icelands.
So you just went ahead and dipped out?
Well, I thought it would, like, lead around to the tower that's out here, and it didn't really do that. I could just teleport away, but, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying fucking around in Iceland.
In the tundra?
In the tundra. What am I on about Fire Emblem? I don't know. I've been coming to this realization where I'm like, I had a lot of problems with the game, with the difficulty and stuff, and with the forced professor mechanics that take you a while to kind of get into, but now that I've, like, mastered all of that and I'm most of the way through the second playthrough, I'm like, is this my favorite Fire Emblem game? It could be, because it's the easiest to play, and I can see myself playing it the longest, you know? Like, I could see when they release DLC and stuff in the higher difficulty, like, I would actually go back and play it again.
Right.
Which I can't really say about the other games, because usually, once I beat them, I'm like, I'm done, you know? Like, I got through this, it was fucking hard, it took me forever, and in the end, it gets kind of frustrating, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to be done playing this game. And with the new one, I'm like, hey, I want to play it again. Oh, maybe I'll go and do the 4th storyline and the 3rd storyline, because they're just different enough, and you have different troops that it's interesting, and they have all these different classes you can choose, and you can really kind of get in the weeds and customize your characters and make interesting builds, sort of. There's not quite enough for it to... I don't know. I'm not sure yet. You know, I have to get into the 3rd playthrough to see how well it all holds up, but, like, it is still fun and satisfying on a second playthrough.
Yeah.
Which is great, and I can't say that about the other games, you know? But in terms of aesthetics, definitely trash compared to the Game Boy Advance versions, but I've been dealing with that for about 15 years now, you know? Because the Game Boy Advance games just have the fucking coolest animations of any Game Boy Advance game ever, and it's fucking perfect, and nothing can ever touch that. Because 3D games look like fucking dog shit. And this game certainly looks like dog shit as well. And, that's a huge downside. But, you're never gonna get the Game Boy Advance back. If you want that feeling, just go play those games. They were perfect to begin with. And, I don't want to play the exact same game again. I want to play a game with new, interesting mechanics, and they delivered on that. So it's a good experience. Definitely recommend if you're into Fire Emblem games. If you're maybe a Fire Emblem casual, and the other games were a little too fucking tedious for you, this is definitely the one to hop in on, probably. Even Hope's friend Tyler has been getting through it.
Yes.
And he's kind of a casual when it comes to video games.
He is kind of a casual. He's still playing Fallout 76, so there is that.
So, like, if you're kind of a casual about Fire Emblem and you've been afraid to get into the games, this is probably the best starting point, you know? Especially if you're just into a story, I guess, or reading lots of JRPG character dialogue. But, like, on the story side, you know, I don't dig into the story with Fire Emblem games too much, but this one I have been paying attention to the vast majority of it. Give or take a few character conversations that I could not give two fucks about, because sometimes I just want to play the fucking game and not read for like an hour. Because you'll finish a quest and you're like, oh no, I have 10 support conversations to get through between all these dipshits on my fucking team. Some of them can be pretty good. You'll learn about, you know, there's a lot of good world building in there, where one girl's like, oh, I'm from a race of people across the way that act like Starfire from Teen Titans. And we're worried about, you know, if Daenerys Targaryen takes over the world with the Empire, is she gonna fuck my nation or not? And she's like, nah, dude, you've been my bro, so I'll look out for you. And she's gonna, well, I kind of gotta trust you because you could literally annihilate my entire people if I don't trust you. There's one dude who's like, oh, I come like, from
Missandre.
Yeah.
It's just Game of Thrones, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's pretty Game of Thronesy. People have you can make the Khaleesi girl, because she is a silver-haired empress, and you can make her ride a dragon.
Well, there you go.
There's like a Mother of Dragons build for this character, where you can turn her into Daenerys Targaryen. So if you want to roleplay, you can certainly do that.
At the end, does she just lose her shit for no reason and murder everybody?
She does in the one storyline. Because I played it from Cuckboy's storyline first, where that's basically what she does.
Loses her shit and
She becomes an evil empress. But I picked the blue pill storyline, and I'm on the red pill storyline, where you follow her, and you're like, oh, these guys are like the shit. They're like the fucking rebels, bro.
Fuck the establishment.
They're like, fuck the church, dog. And I'm like, yeah, I can get behind fuck the fucking church, bro.
Yeah, but
I don't think enemies are too hard. Not strong enough.
Uh-oh.
I'm tired of your shit. Where's my ice arrows?
Fuck you. I'm just gonna freeze you and be done with it.
Fuck this shit.
Just kill him.
Didn't realize I was fucking unfreezing. This guy's got a fucking dragon club. Fuck this shit. It's just a whole fucking dungeon's worth of impossible enemies frozen in ice. Jesus fucking Christ.
You didn't have to unfreeze him, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was curious.
And that's what happens.
Yep.
Cat's out of the bag now, faggot.
Yeah. I both, like, while I'm playing Fire Emblem, I'm like, man, I could make a whole fucking analysis of this game in comparison with the other ones and the mechanics and everything. And then I start talking about it, I'm just like, I don't even care what I'm talking about. Like, I have no motivation to talk about my deep analysis of these fucking video games when it's analysis of, like, stat grinding mechanics and, like, how you feel about them, you know? The most obnoxious sort of comparison content where it's just like, this game is great, and the other game was great, but how do we feel about the differences and how they're great? How do I feel about the fact that it's not exactly the same thing as what I grew up with, and therefore it is inherently worse? I don't know. It's like it's almost like the Let's Go Pikachu of Fire Emblem games, in the sense that, like...
It's for babies.
Yeah, where it's just like... Playing Let's Go Pikachu, it's like, yeah, they made this really easy, but also, like, I don't have time for Pokemon Blue. Pokemon Blue is fucking hard.
But also, fuck you.
Pokemon Leaf Green is a bitch, and I don't have fucking time for this shit. So yes, maybe I do want to play the easy Fire Emblem game where I can actually fucking get through it at a reasonable pace, which still took me 60 hours!
This is true.
Like, this is still a 60-hour-long game. I don't need it to be so hard that I'm dying and retrying multiple times on every fucking mission, because that's why I didn't finish the 3DS game. Because that one got to a point where it was just like, that one was just not fun. It was just fucking tedious. Because the best thing they did is that they took out partner mechanics, which they had introduced in the first 3DS game, that carried over into the second 3DS game, which made it so, like, you could team up your guys with another guy and it'll increase all of their stats. But it ends up, you have this, like, bloated team of, like, 20 dudes, but then you basically have to team them up with other guys, and then it gets really confusing, because they simplified the mechanics of the game so that it's all about the weapons triangle, and then you're just like, all of this feels arbitrary. I feel like I'm just playing rock, paper, scissors with skins on, and it doesn't fucking, none of this is satisfying or interesting. And then it had the turn back time thing, and then it's just like, I don't know, I don't have any motivation to play this. And then I got like 50 hours of the fucking game, and then it was hard, and I was like, I don't care. This is getting boring. This game, I never felt like that. I felt like, oh man, I'm enjoying myself the entire time. It never turned into a fucking slog. So that's that. It's pretty good, I guess, because they took out obnoxious mechanics and put in good mechanics. And that's all you can ask for in games, right?
I guess.
This game actually takes out the weapon triangle, which is interesting. Because the weapon triangle was introduced sort of midway through Fire Emblem, and in the American games it was always there, but it wasn't there in the original games. And then they take it out in this game. Because like the foundation of the weapons triangle is that swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. And in this game they made it so, like, there's a special ability you can get with your characters to make lances beat swords or whatever, but you don't have to put that on them, and you don't have to worry about it at all. And, I don't know. You can feel some kind of way about that. I'm done talking about Fire Emblem now. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling incoherently. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the new Fire Emblem. If you played it, how do you feel about the mechanics? Do you think it makes it better or worse? And maybe we'll hash it out in the comments. Because Hope doesn't know fucking shit about Fire Emblem, so she's just here listening to me talk about bullshit.
Can you fuck your students?
And no, sadly you can't fuck your students. You get to fuck a person at the end of the game. And by fuck I mean you marry them.
Same difference.
And it's basically just in the ending credits so that they could have that in the game because they knew that people
would expect
because
it.
For some reason it's gotten, because there was one game with shipping, so now it's a game about shipping and they can't make the game without the shipping, even though it was just like a throwaway concept that they had for one game that made sense because they had time travel mechanics and it was a good time because they thought that it was going to be the last Fire Emblem game, so they just jumped the shark and did whatever the fuck they wanted.
Very nice.
So sadly, you can't fuck your students. Brrr.
0 out of 10.
Let us know in the comments who's your favorite waifu in Fire Emblem, bro. I don't think I have a favorite waifu. I don't really care.
Oh.
None of them had personalities that stood out to me in particular.
But Victor, all the cutscenes are fully voice acted.
Yeah.
The Monster Man.
There's the one girl, Dorothea, who's like obvious. She's the consulate of the game, because she's a poor girl who grew up in poverty, and so she became a singer, so that she could pay for herself. And then she decided that her goal in life is to marry a rich man, so she doesn't have to work anymore.
Hashtag goals.
Very progressive.
Yeah.
She's gonna marry a rich noble so that she can take advantage of them. And her thing is that she likes to fuck a lot of dudes because she doesn't give a shit, and she's looking for that fucking rich husband. And she's kind of cool, but she also is just kind of lame looking. She's just not. They gave her big old boobs, and it's stupid.
Well,
and,
no one wants to fuck you if
lame.
you don't have huge boobs, so.
Yeah. There's some fucking
life.
obnoxious edgy lollies. You know, there's a good mix for whatever your anime girl you're into. There's boring chicks. There's edgy chicks. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So comment below your favorite waifu. I've never been one to care about waifus. It's not my aesthetic, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Hope you have some waifus. Some anime boy waifus. Your Killua and Viral. and Alphonse Elric.
Wow, bro, why you gotta fucking out me like
classic anime waifus. I'm just saying you had some waifus,
why,
bro. Like, most people have waifus. I'm more weird for not having any waifus, bro.
Why are you doxing me?
Yeah, I gotta have them anime waifus, dog. Woo! You got another topic?
Speaking of bad video game mechanics, we finished Man of Medan.
We already talked about that.
We didn't finish it.
Oh, we
last time we talked about it, we were mid playthrough.
Is there more to say now that we finished it?
You ask me if I had a topic, I bring up the topic, and then you go, no, not that one. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll shut the fuck up. We didn't finish it.
Okay, well, alright. Then, how was Man of Medan?
It was fucking bad. It was awful.
It was pretty dumb. It was not good.
Basically impossible to succeed at the QuickTime events. So we basically failed probably 80% of the QuickTime events in the game.
Yes, because it's literally broken and impossible.
Because the game is fundamentally so broken. The lag is so bad. Like, Victor would... First of all, they give you a very narrow window in which you can pass these QuickTime events, and then there's lag on the game that's so bad that it will cause you to fail a QuickTime event even if you respond in a timely manner.
It's like a legitimate input delay where you just can't fucking get the...
It's just...
Get the shit. You can't get the inputs on PS4. It's a bitch.
The EKG segments are especially bad. Whereas in Until Dawn, it was a mechanic where you had to literally stay still. Like, you had to keep your controller super still, and it worked perfectly. And then in this game, because this game is not PS4 exclusive, they had to substitute in that EKG bullshit, and it doesn't fucking work. It is fundamentally broken, and it's basically impossible. But I guess the good news is we only killed the 2 white characters. But we still
all the white people,
got a bad ending because the military put us in military jail.
But like the endings with these games, like with Until Dawn, it's like the conceit of the game is that you're making your own choices and characters will die and stuff.
Yes.
And like your ending depends on who survives. But the endings are all literally the same. All that changes is that after the credits, the characters say some stuff. But it's like literally a sentence that they say.
Yeah.
So by not saving all the characters, you get a sentence. You don't actually get a fucking ending.
Well,
it doesn't really change anything.
There are different endings. The ending that we got is something that happened because of what we did with the radio.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, that does change.
But, like, is it dramatically different? Do you know?
You don't go to military jail if you do other things, and if you don't...
I mean, does everyone just die,
you can,
or what?
You can actually fix the boat.
Okay.
You can get out of there on your own boat.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, then at least there's more than that was in Until Dawn. Because in Until Dawn,
Until Dawn, basically all the endings are the same, yes.
But either way, like, they don't give you that much of, like, a...
The characters are fucking shit.
The ideal way to do that kind of, like, multiple choices ending is that you will learn more information about the story if you got the best ending.
Yeah.
Like, literally, a better story will be given to you. Or, like, you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. But this game, it was just like, you know what's going on, so it's not interesting to get a better ending, you know? Like, you're not going to learn anything with a better ending.
Right.
It's dumb.
It is dumb. The other thing that is quite obnoxious about the game is that it feels like if you choose options that the designers really didn't expect people to choose, then you still get stuck on the path of the option that they expected everyone to choose. Because we had a point in our ending where one of the characters died, and her boyfriend was there with her when he died. Him saying something directly resulted in her being shot. And then in the after the credits sequence, when they're interviewing the boyfriend character, he just goes, "Oh, I wish there was something that I could have done. I wish I could have been there when she died." And it's like, you were right fucking there! What are you talking about? The character was right there. He knows what happened. He knows how he died, and yet he's acting like he wasn't there when she died? It's like, okay, clearly they didn't expect anyone to choose those things because we were being obstinate and choosing goofy bullshit, but at the same time, but then, the inconsistency of what the characters do and don't know and where they were and where they were not is completely off the fucking rails.
And you can't really be that obstinate in choosing goofy bullshit when they give you 2 choices in every interaction. Like, there's no real way to goof the game, you know? Like, you're by choosing a certain thing, you're not really deviating that much from what they wanted because they gave you 2 choices.
But it's enough that apparently it fucks up the continuity of the game. If it's that bad, I mean, Jesus.
It's just really poor writing.
It's really, really bad. The twist of the game is fucking super obvious. You'll get it basically as soon as you get on the ghost ship. You'll be like, yep, okay, I get what's going on here. But then, after a little while, the characters seem to pick up on what's going on, and some of them seem to be pretty aware of why it is that these things are happening. But then in later scenes, they'll find exposition material and read the exposition material and act like they had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you were just talking about how you know what this is and you are aware of why this is happening. Then you found this book and read it and you were like, oh my god, I've never heard of such a thing. And you're like, wait. Well, which one is it?
Because there was a certain point where, because we had read everything, the character was like, oh, I'm piecing this together. But, that was pretty deep. He could have been piecing it together the whole time. And that was after
he had already spoken with characters who knew what was happening. Yeah. So he had heard this information before, but he was acting like he didn't know. Yeah. And you're like, well, no, you knew. And for some reason, the game designers just couldn't follow their own plot continuity. I'm not honestly sure. It's very frustrating, even though, it's a $30 game, whatever. I guess you don't really lose out on that much. It's only 4 or 5 hours long. But it's great, still quite obnoxious.
Game. If your Redbox has the game, that would be great.
Yeah. If you can rent this one, it's helpful.
These fucking dudes. I just want to ride
that
the guy.
Being said, the next one that's coming out, Little Hope, looks like it's potentially a little more of an interesting plot conceit.
Yeah.
It looks like Silent Hill, basically.
But, what would be good in this type of game? Because, the plot in the end is that, there's a fucking deadly chemical that was released on this boat, and it makes people hallucinate and stuff. And so, you're hallucinating the whole time. You're like, oh, is this a ghost ship? Because we're seeing ghosts and zombies. And it's real fucking stupid. And yeah, you find out that the twist was that there was chemicals on the ship, even though it's fucking obvious from the very beginning of the game.
Because there's fucking yellow mist fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And as soon as the yellow mist enters the room, the characters start tripping balls. And so you're like, well, duh.
Yeah. But what would be good as a multiple choice style game is if they had that around and made it so, depending on what you choose, there's it could have actually been a ghost ship, depending on the events of the game that you choose, it could have been if you were going for the more logically brained stuff, then yes, it turns out to be a chemical. If you weren't going for that stuff, then yes, it turns out to actually be ghosts. That's how you do 2 stories,
The problem
that would be interesting.
That takes competent writing and a lot of work.
A lot more effort.
It means that your choices actually have to mean something.
It would have been cool in Until Dawn if, depending on what you chose, there were literally different plots. That is interesting. That could be really cool.
Yes.
But that would take way more effort,
Considerable effort. Which I guess I shouldn't expect to be put into a $30 game. I don't know.
Yes.
Game also has tremendous problems in that it constantly has issues loading in textures. Literally, you will be looking at a thing, and the textures will load in as you're zooming in on it, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Yes, the game is fucking broken. It's a huge piece of shit when it comes to
it's pretty bad.
Actually being functional.
Yeah, it's
I don't remember how to get onto the guy.
Broken
Did I do the thing already?
On the level of the meta and on the level of the actual game. So there is that. It's a little bit
I gotta get the sneak on him.
frustrating. The sneak.
Gotta get the sneak.
Oh shit.
Gotta get the sneak.
He might hear you coming, boys. The characters also feel much less interesting
because they're
and
literally
empathetic.
just shitty throwaway
even than
B-movie horror
the characters
characters
in Until Dawn. And the characters in Until Dawn are a big fucking beam.
Yeah.
So that's pretty unfortunate.
That's at least a game where you could make fun of it and have fun, and like the characters will do goofy, stupid shit or have like over-the-top personalities, and these characters were just flat nothing.
It's like in Until Dawn, you can be friends with a wolf. And you're just like, yeah, this is my buddy! And you're just, it's so stupid, but you're like, this is cool!
Oh, I think I was supposed to meet someone outside, and then they were gonna come with me here.
I mean, it's possible.
No, I'm hiding! I'm hiding! I'm hiding!
Oh, she didn't like that. She did not like that.
How do you know it's a lady camel?
What's her name referred to it as she?
Oh, cool. It's a lady camel.
Yeah. I mean, it's in
Gerudo.
the Gerudo. It's outside the Gerudo village. It makes sense that you know.
But it's not inside the Gerudo village.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Damn, I'm wasting all my meat.
Meat.
No, I'm trying to run away. Leave me alone.
Leave Brittany alone.
I lost my walrus.
Yes, you did.
Fucking sand walrus is the coolest shit that's ever happened in a video game, man.
Sans walrus.
I was trying to run away from you, and yet here I am.
You may as well just let it kill you. And then go back to the Gerudo village.
Well, I have like a resurrect.
Oh.
Shit on my ass.
Well.
I'm trying to escape.
Escape.
I don't want to get electrocuted no more. Help.
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 Oh god, well.
Help.
Here we go.
Yeah. Sorry, I just don't have enough to say about the game. It's just not interesting. It's like it was fun to play, you know, as a $30 game that we played for 4 hours. It wasn't good at all. But it wasn't,
that's what I was going to say.
It wasn't bad in a particularly interesting way.
It is actually based on a real legend about a Swedish ship that was transporting hallucinogenic chemicals that were potentially being used for warfare. It wasn't World War II though. It was like way before that, like much earlier. So they adapted the time in which it took place.
Mm-hmm.
But the original story is actually kind of interesting and neat. This the story, of course, being the same basic thing, like a Swedish freighter that was carrying these materials that were going to potentially be weapons used in war that caused the soldiers on the ship to hallucinate and lose their shit and all die.
Yeah. Which that is an interesting story.
Fun.
And like you briefly play that at the beginning of this game. You're like soldiers on a ship, and it's like, you're seeing zombies and stuff. And like what would have been an interesting game would be if you were a Swedish soldier on a ship while people are losing their minds, and you're like, why is this happening? That could have been interesting. But no, we decided to have it be a ghost ship and focus on retards coming and finding it and fucking around, which is obnoxious and stupid. They could have just like went full ass and actually did the original plot of the story, which could have been cool. But no, we get a bunch of fucking douchebags on a boat go to a fucking another boat and fuck around being mentally retarded while a very obvious plot ensues. Great.
Yeah.
That you read through boring military logs.
I think the other issue is like the specific hallucinogens that some of the characters see, like the hallucinations, don't really make sense. They seem super random. Like one guy sees like a 1920s pinup lady who becomes like a gross old lady ghost. And you're like, why?
Doesn't have anything to do with his personality or like,
I don't understand.
The game.
And then there's also like a dude in, like a suit and a trilby, and like he's around, but he never does anything. He's just a ghost that's there, and you're like, all right.
Because they're hallucinations, so they literally cannot do anything.
But he's not important to the, like, he doesn't even do anything. He doesn't fuck with any of the characters. And he's just, he's there, like, 2 times, and then he's not there anymore. And you're like, what? You didn't even do anything spooky.
What could have been interesting is, like, if you wanted to create the illusion that this could be a ghost ship, which is never really, it never feels like that could be the plot.
Yeah. There is no question of, like, is it really ghosts? Is it hallucinogens? You don't know. You're just like, yeah, it's fake.
Yeah. So, what could have been cool is if you're reading about different people that were on the ship, and then, like, they're hallucinating those ghosts because it's in their mind, you know? They're thinking about these characters, and then they're seeing their ghosts. Like, that could be kind of cool, you know?
Yeah. But those characters aren't established as being important in the mythos or the history of the ship. You're just like, they're just there. And you're just like, okay, did you just think it looked cool to have, like, a 1920s pinup ghost and a dude in a trilby? Like, okay. I get that those were around in the 20s, but what? Alright, whatever, dude.
Shitty game. Ugh.
It was, it's pretty abysmal. How many spooky clowns out of 10?
4?
It's as good as It? Chapter 2?
Yes. No, I'm kidding. I guess if It was a 4, well, I guess it should be a 5. It wasn't that bad.
I guess.
It could be a 5 or a 6. This is a 2.
Man of Medan
because it's literally broken. It shouldn't even be on the
scale.
It's
a fundamentally broken game with a stupid, insulting story to top it off.
Yes.
So it's a 2.
A 2.
Sorry,
Man of
boys.
Japan.
Man of Japan, yeah.
Man of Japan would have been a better game.
Man of Japan. Right.
Don't you love your Gerudo lolly waifu? That's the thickest lolly in the world.
It's true. If this was, if it was a game called Man of Japan, then it would just be fucking, what's the name of the game with the camera? Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame.
It would just be Fatal Frame.
A way more interesting premise.
Fatal Frame's cool.
Yeah.
I like that premise, and I like those games. They're pretty neat.
Excellent.
Fatal Frame. There he is.
Lady Urbosa.
Please grant Link your protection.
This is the best fucking part of this game, man.
Grant
the Gerudo
us
place is
eyes.
so cool. I love it. It's fucking desert walruses and shit.
Time to surf behind some walruses.
Yes. Oh yeah, I have to stay in her
because
bubble.
she's protecting you.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fucking
woo,
breaking.
Woo, woo, woo.
I just wish every region were like the Gerudo region, and it would have been a perfect game.
Love sand.
Yeah.
I think that's what it really
sand
comes
is cool,
down to.
as well as sands.
Sands and sand, yeah.
Sands.
Let's see. We also
I like the actual plot of what is happening here, which is like, you know, you went into this village that was hard to get into. There's all these kooky people there, and then like
women,
you know,
so
you had
kooky.
to go into a ninja hideout. Well, there was like the lady with the afro and the sunglasses and stuff. Like the Gerudo people are cool and kooky. Yes, you are being funny.
I was being funny.
Oh, you weren't being funny. I was. Because they are kooky people, and now my feelings are hurt. Anyways, cool shit is happening. You go fight a bunch of kooky ninjas, and like it feels like a lot of shit's going down.
Some shit. Oh.
And in all the other places, it doesn't really feel like much shit's going down at all. Ugh. I'm doing it.
Speaking of Man in Japan, we also watched another foreign horror movie.
Which one was that?
We watched a movie called Noroi the Curse.
It's a Japanese movie about being found footage. And,
footage.
Spooky psychic shenanigans. The movie's pretty cool.
That was a really good time.
It was very interesting. It was a big clusterfuck.
It definitely. It
had many layers of shit going on.
It was definitely a more interesting take on the found footage
Tell
genre.
us the plot of this movie. What was it about? You don't gotta recap the entire thing, but
like, there's a Japanese Zach Baggins, and he's looking for ghosts.
Yes.
And he comes across a bunch of spooky bullshit that's happening. Like there's a lady who's weird, and she is like, "Get the fuck out of my house! I don't like you." And then there's psychic children, and there's a man who wears tinfoil hats and hides inside his tinfoil home. Great. And
lots of shenanigans and spooky imagery ensues.
Yeah.
It's like a psychic girl gets kidnapped, and then he's trying to track her down with the help of a goofy psychic man.
Boys.
And they see ectoplasmic worms.
Oh yeah, the ectoplasmic worms.
There's all kinds of fucking spooky shenanigans happening. There's a big paranormal activity stuff.
Demon. Because it's, it's Japan. Of course there's a demon.
And then you get to see a bunch of aborted baby fetus ghosts, and it's fucking cool. And you're like, whoa, this is like Berserk. It's great.
There's definitely a bunch of baby fetus ghosts.
And it was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was a fun adventure.
Definitely very, also 3 hours long.
Yes.
But very, very different from
the Wailing. It was definitely much more of a, active... shit was happening all the time.
Very much.
It was not a slow, drawn-out movie. It was just there was so much shit happening. It was insane.
Yeah, it cuts between all sorts of different segments. If the first part of the movie is kind of pieced together as a bunch of different segments from, Japanese variety TV. Yeah. So you're looking at, a special on child espers, and then you're looking at, a show that's interviewing an actress who... claims to have seen ghosts, and you're watching, this the kind of test of courage where this band and this actress go out into the forest and they see some shit, and it's just all this shit going on. You're just what's the underlying ties here? I can't. What's going on?
That's right. And it turns out that it was a curse because there was a village that was dedicated to keeping this demon at bay, basically. And then
they built a dam.
Yeah, they built a dam over the village, so the villagers had to relocate. And then they basically angered this fucking demon, and it got loose, and it cursed this one woman. And then that woman was trying to do a ritual to basically summon him into physical form. Essentially, I mean, that's basically what I gathered out of it.
What it was.
So she does a lot of fucking spooky shit to do this, and it was pretty cool.
Yes, definitely a lot of fucking spooky bullshit.
And that was on Shudder, right?
They're both on Shudder, The Wailing and Noroi the Curse.
So if you have Shudder, they're free. If you don't have Shudder,
it's $3.99.
Yeah, it's $4 the rent.
I think if you join Shudder, the first month is $3. So if you Halloween
cheap.
Coming up and you feel like watching some spooky bullshit. Mm-hmm. I would say $3 for Shudder for a month is probably a really good deal, and they have a lot of really good movies. They have fucking Reanimator, they have Audition, they have fucking everything. They have a bunch of John Carpenter shit, they've got David Cronenberg shit.
They do have all the classic Asian horror movies for sure.
Yeah.
They have fucking Ong Bak and shit on
there.
They have Ong Bak. Not even a horror movie.
Which is an interesting choice.
We watched part of it.
We watched part of it.
all of Ong Bak. A lot. It's stranger than I remember as a child.
It's pretty goofy. It starts with a bunch of dudes climbing a tree and kicking each other off of a tree.
It's very Thai tradition based. Taiwanese, that is. Mm. It's about Thai boxing is the martial arts style that the guy uses. And his name is I can't remember the guy's name. No, I mean the actor, but he's the most famous Taiwanese martial artist film guy. He's the Bruce Lee of Taiwan, but he got famous in the Ong Bak movies. And what is technically Ong Bak 2, but is a movie called The Protector, is one of the fucking... when I was 16, it was the greatest fucking kung fu movie ever made to me, and it was very incredible. I'd love to watch that one again. Ong Bak 1 I don't remember liking as much. It's more strange, whereas The Protector is a lot more just a fucking kung fu movie, So that's fun stuff to check out. And then apparently there's Ong Bak 3, which is about I guess
the Bakaning.
It takes place in BC era, and it's fucking weird and retarded, so I never watched that one. That's Ong Bak. Fuck.
Very nice.
What am I doing? I'm playing Zelda. I'm in the guy now.
But yeah.
Shit's going down.
I don't know what it is, but definitely the scene in Noroi where they're watching the interview and the tinfoil hat guy. Oh wait, no, they're in his house.
Yeah.
And it cuts to all the static with all the fucking blue faces and just the screaming weird industrial noise underneath it. Something about noises like that just like, oh, it bothers me so much. It just instantly makes me uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh my god.
You have the fear
Make that noise stop. I don't like it.
Hope has a fear of tiny holes, so that probably got you a lot.
The tiny holes bother me less than the noise because I can definitely interpret that as faces and not like holes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's definitely a disturbing image to see all those like weird blue amorphous faces like scared, but the noise like gets me so much worse. Oh, I fucking hate that noise. I remember the year at Hollow Scream where they had a part in one of their little walkthroughs that was just like some stupid like Grim Reaper dummies standing to the side, but they made like that really loud screeching continuous noise, and it's just like, oh, fucking, oh. It makes me genuinely uncomfortable and physically
I gotta get this chest
ill.
before it falls. No! I mashed too hard and I deactivated
fucking
it. Aww.
Rip.
Thought I was so fucking clever.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Got him, dude.
I lost the chest. What could it have been? Could it have been another worthless weapon?
Probably.
Alright, I guess I need to engage with the mechanics of the
Engage mechanics.
How do I thought I had to just pull up the map and it gives me like the Divine Beast map. Oh, maybe I haven't activated
You have to get the
Divine
Beast map first.
Yeah, I guess I skipped the guy that activated or whatever.
Probably.
Where is my map? Do. Is it not this?
Yeah. I don't think you interacted with that. Did you?
It didn't. It doesn't let me.
Oh.
There's nothing to do. This is just the entranceway. And then I went up and there was a big heart and I couldn't do anything with that. I guess I'm just a dipshit and I'm not paying enough attention. Fuck yeah, we watched a lot of movies, which is good because I'm supposed to be a guy that makes movies or whatever, and I'm fucking terrible at doing that. So it's nice to watch more movies because that's what good boys do.
That is what good boys do.
I need to get remotivated to actually care about making movies and not just surviving and making money. There we go.
There he is.
Not good at it. I haven't felt the, I don't really feel the urge much to actually make, like, a film, you know? I feel the urge to make art. I care about music videos and making documentaries and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like...
Well...
I wonder, do I need to care more about, like, shooting actual films? I mean, I tend to enjoy it when I do, you know? Like, I always enjoy the 48-hour film festival when I'm actually doing it.
Sure.
And I do wonder, like, could I do a lot better making a thing that I actually planned? Like, I've shot other people's films, you know? They're short films over the last couple years. Haven't done one in a while. There's one I did in the spring. But, like... those tend to suck, you know?
Yeah.
And aren't that interesting, like, script-wise or cinematography-wise, because I'm kind of just, like, showing up and, like, doing what someone else wants, you know?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I feel like I've lost touch in my head of, like, how do I actually shoot a film, you know? I don't think about it enough since school, and then I'll watch these movies and I'm like, man, like, how do they come up with this shit? Like, how is the cinematography so fucking good? I'm like, I can't even imagine this shit, but I'm like, but I haven't like looked at a good script and tried to figure out the shots in a long time, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't tried to direct a film properly in very long. Maybe I need to do that to flex that muscle in my brain. I don't know.
Flex those nuts.
Yeah, flex those nuts. I'm like, I can, you know, I make the excuse of like not doing film festivals and stuff and thinking that would be a waste of time without having, like, actually tried, you know? Like, I haven't actually tried to make a good short film by myself and, like, actually do it. Like, I complain about, like, budgets and money and stuff, but, like, I haven't tried to get money to do a short film, you know? I haven't even found a script that I would want to shoot. So, like, I haven't taken the first step before giving up, you know? But then, like, I don't really want to write anything, because I don't enjoy writing, and, like, the thought of writing makes me want to die.
Well, that's why you have Josh.
Yeah, but Josh fucking isn't writing anything. Josh, if you're listening to this, which you tend to do, I hope you are, fucking, like, God, man, let's...
Fucking God,
just me and you, like, let's just make, like, a good film. Like, I don't know, but it's so, you know...
The old Bloody Butt Baby script.
He's just, like, trapped writing whatever, and it's just, like, we don't finish, like, a real fucking script, and I don't know, you know, because I don't like writing. And it's, like, you know, it's a lot to just, ask, like, hey... Write a masterpiece for me. Why aren't you writing a masterpiece for
Josh,
me?
Write a fucking masterpiece for Victor.
Why don't you give me something to do? But then I guess it's also, you know, it's a part of being a director is like getting other people to give you masterpieces to make. I don't know. What thing?
That thing.
You do that after you do all the other ones.
Okay.
You gotta get all the other guys, and then you get the big guy.
Alright.
I unlocked the ability to turn the room, so I should probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just too busy ranting about short films.
Yeah, no, I feel.
I mean, we're probably gonna do the
48
hour horror film festival, which will be whatever, you know. I'm sure it'll be neat.
I am really interested to see all the entrants to that one.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fucking abysmal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there will be some of the worst things we've ever seen.
Pretty bad, I'm sure.
Because generally, I very much look down on local horror films.
Well, I mean, if local horror films didn't suck, they wouldn't get that reputation.
Yeah. I think it'll be an interesting challenge, because I don't think I can make a good horror film. Like, I don't think it's possible, like, with our minds in our like, what we have.
Yeah.
I can't picture making a good horror film. It's impossible to me. I don't know. You know?
Horror is interesting because it's
so
simultaneously the easiest and the hardest.
Yeah.
Because it can be easy in the sense that, you know, you throw some blood makeup on your friend and you shoot somewhere outside that's dark and, you know, you can make a horror movie.
It's really easy.
But it's not, that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
It just means it's a horror movie.
It's really easy to make a horror film, and it's really fucking hard to make a good one. Like,
Yes.
it's real fucking hard.
It's like the skill floor is in hell and the skill ceiling is unattainable.
It's almost impossible, because even the best ones are difficult and not always good, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's such a variance of what's good about horror. So what makes one thing a good horror movie is not what makes another a good horror movie.
Yeah.
So there's just so many facets to what can make it good or bad depending on what your ideas are.
Like, I tend to resonate the most with Asian horror films, and I'm just like, we can't make an Asian horror film.
Can't possibly
We're not Asian. Like, we can't do it. We're not Japanese. We can't do it. I can't imagine that we could do it. Because if, like, you can write the perfect Asian horror film script, but as soon as you get your local actors to do it, it's just gonna be dumb. It's gonna feel stupid. Like, you have to write it to fit the available talent, and, like, not that they're super bad or anything. It's just like, it's fucking, there's just a certain aesthetic to certain people where, like, they can pull off doing one thing and not another, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm confident we could write dark horror comedy like that. You could do every fucking day of the week, but, like, actual good horror movie, I just don't know. I can't imagine it.
Even if you didn't go for a Asian aesthetic of horror, even the best of American horror, like The Thing or Alien, like, what, you're gonna make a low budget Alien? Okay, yeah,
it's impossible.
You need good actors, you need sets, you need makeup, like, you need prosthetics, like, it's impossible to do on, you know, a no budget.
Yeah. Like, the Asian horror movie style of, like, what we just watched is the ideal way, because those are kind of, like, low-budget movies, you know, that get by on, like... Atmosphere. But I'm just, like, I don't know where I can go to shoot to find that atmosphere for no money, you know? Or for any... Like, I don't know. It's impossible to imagine being able to do anything.
Well, I mean, and here's the problem is, like, Blair Witch already capitalized on that. Paranormal Activity already capitalized on that. Anyone else who tries to do that is too late.
On the super simple side of things.
Because those are no-budget movies, and those are, like, the best no-budget horror. That's it.
I did it. I made the thing.
Yeah. A pipeline.
Yeah, the Continental Pipeline. Mm-hmm. The Transcontinental Pipeline.
Yes, the Transcontinental Pipeline.
Yeah, horror's a bitch. It's both, like, can be the best and the worst genre of film in the world.
Yeah.
Because when it's good, it's fucking great, and when it's bad, it's really awful.
Sometimes it be like
Why
that.
do I even bother opening treasure chests? Oh man, the room stopped spinning because I did this thing. Fuck! Ah!
Uh-oh.
Whatever. I guess that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah.
I both want to make films and am too lazy to write films, I guess. I don't know. Because it's like, not every director writes the movies they make. I guess the best directors tend to write the movies they make, right?
I guess?
I don't know. But then, like, the Coen brothers are always doing book adaptations. Like, they write their movies, but they're not coming up with the stories.
Yeah.
But then, like, you can't really adapt something without, like, getting permission to do that. So
right.
that's
you
hard.
Can't just take someone's work and fuck off and take it.
Yeah. It's like adaptations are the way to go because writers create the best, tend to make the best stories because that's all they do is just write. Do I need to become a good writer to make films? Do I need to do that if I want to get into like creative filmmaking? I suppose I might have to, because no one else is giving me what I want. But then I'm not looking that hard.
True.
But, like, where do you even look? I don't know. Where do I look to find the writers? That involves like talking to human beings, which is also why I'm terrible at my job because I don't like interacting with people. So it's hard, It's a bitch. Being a filmmaker is like this inherently social occupation.
It's true.
What is this doing?
I have no idea.
Is it moving something? Anything? Is it doing one of this guy? Is it that guy? Okay,
yes,
yeah, it's that guy. So I mean, I probably want him up. Wing, 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 wing.
There he goes.
Is this doing something? This is like a little electric pipeline.
Yeah.
Chickadoo, 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 chickadoo. I don't know. My career's weird. It's like, I always say I didn't really get into it with an idea of what I was going to do. And then, like, I'm enjoying what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So on the one hand, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. On the other hand, making films is fun. And, like, if I could actually make money making films, that would be pretty cool, I don't know. I don't know what I'm even complaining about. I don't know what I want anymore. How do I make films? I guess I should just rub my butt on the rug.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah, maybe you should just do that.
Just rub my butt on the rug. I don't know that I've ever made a good short film. I mean, some people would say I have, but like I've been, I've done good in comparison to really shitty films. So it's hard to feel good about what I've done, Yeah. And, like, I don't know that I could actually make like a great film. Especially like I'm already 26, I feel like I haven't even gotten started. I haven't made that much. That's like what I've done is on a great level for like local people, but like not on like a California graduate school level, I think. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. Maybe, you know, I'm putting myself down for no reason. I haven't even tried. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I suck.
I don't know about that, but, you know.
I'm just a goofy boy. Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore. What is this life? What's the reason we do anything? I don't know. Guess I'm done talking about this. Well, I'm a wishy-washy man. I poop my pants. I'm a gay boy.
Gay.
I guess are we done? Is that it for this Big Hope? We got nothing else to talk about.
That's all I got.
That's all we got. Here I am, failing to do what is probably a very simple challenge. I'm trying to get up on the platforms. I got it! Yeah. Excellent. I'm trying to get up to that shrine, so I guess I should stand on top of this thing.
Yes. Mayhap.
I'm not sure if this is what they intend for you to do to get up there, but
seeing
this
as
is
the
what
camera
I'm
is
doing.
losing its mind, I would say probably
This
not.
is what I'm doing. No!
Oh my god!
Yes.
Oh Jesus! If you had fucking sailed right over that.
Had a fun time. We went to a social gathering
Oh, we left the house
a couple days ago, which we were kind of you know, full disclosure, dreading, as we do every social
Which
gathering.
is always, all the time.
Went to Josh's house. His dog died, and so he was having a little get together.
For Coco.
And
you inherited Coco's mantle.
I inherited Coco's mantle. I am now Josh's dog. So that's canon. That happened. I am Josh's dog.
You get
now.
to go rub his ass on your rug whenever you want.
Yes, I can rub lots of ass. I am canonically Josh's dog.
Correct.
But we had a good time. Hanging out.
Yeah. Who all was there,
Socializing.
Victor?
I mean, less important
Okay.
than they don't, you know, nobody
I
knows
don't
who
know.
these people are.
Nobody. There's boys that have been around for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Brando was there. That's and he has a girlfriend now. I don't want to talk too much about like his girlfriend because relationships
No,
can
yeah.
be
Things
very
can be
all over the
transient.
place. But he was doing real good psychologically, it seemed, which was nice. You know.
Seemed like he was pretty good.
I
Feeling
just
alright.
I wouldn't want to speak too soon and jinx anything.
Yeah, certainly.
But we had a good time hanging out. But
Yeah.
I think I wanted to get on something about
White Claws?
First of all, White Claws, fantastic.
Which we have, in fact, talked about on the show before. White Claw,
Yes.
if you want to sponsor us.
But before we were making fun of Hope for White Claws, and now
Yeah.
I'm on Hope's side about White Claws because I drank a bunch of them and still felt good, and it was a good time.
Everyone loves to shit on White Claws because they're like a meme,
Yeah,
but
everyone
like
shits
they're
on White Claws,
legitimately like.
And then everyone drank our White. We showed up with an 18-pack of White Claws, and quickly everyone was drinking the White Claws.
Everyone. There was beer, there was cider, there was
Yes.
fucking everything else available. Everyone gravitated to the White Claws. So,
Because Josh was like, we already have alcohol. And I was like, well, at least maybe we'll have a bunch of leftover White Claws and we can drink them for Vic and Hope or whatever.
Yeah.
And then everyone drank the White Claws.
So, I mean, say
They were
what you
gone.
want, but people are catching on.
Yes.
The White Claws are, they're fucking great,
I mean,
man.
you
don't
know.
feel like shit when you drink them. It's great.
It has a big advantage due to the fact that there are no laws while you are drinking the White Claws.
Correct.
So, date rape, okay.
Definitely.
It's okay. It's
consent,
okay.
not a
Yeah.
problem when you're
Literally,
drinking White Claws.
On the side of the White Claw is a written form of consent.
True.
So, like, if you
Whatever
drink one-
happens,
yeah.
once you crack open this claw,
Once you
Be aware
open the beverage,
that there are no laws.
You're essentially consenting to anything that happens.
Correct.
So, I mean, double-edged sword.
Right.
With White Claws. Like, if you're looking to have a good time, White Claws, might be for you. Like, if you're into that.
Like-
if you're into living in the danger zone. That maybe drink some White Claws, but know that once you've drank the White Claw,
Right.
you are literally consenting to
anything.
absolutely
Literally
anything.
any
Yeah.
and everything.
Literally anything can happen. I gotta kill some dude somewhere.
Yeah, there's definitely a boy in there somewhere.
So like, where is his eyeball?
Show me your eyeball.
What the hell is happening? Is he hiding behind this thing? There's this guy. I think we already activated that earlier, though. When we did this little contraption. Whew, man. I could really use a lack of laws right now.
Yeah?
Laws of physics and game design. Bring me a White Claw, and I will be able to defeat this challenge.
Oh, okay. Well, it's too bad we don't have any more White Claws.
Damn.
And there is, in fact, a national shortage of White Claws coming into effect. So if you want your claws, go ahead and stock up now, boys.
Yes. Apparently there's a literal meme of there not being enough White Claws in the world, I guess, which is weird.
Yeah. Supply and demand, dude.
But, so, Annie, get your White Claws. Well, la-dee-da.
I don't know what you expected from me.
I wanted to had some idea about, like, job satisfaction.
Yeah?
And just, like, how I've been doing nothing lately. And so I have felt a lack of life satisfaction in terms of getting things done and accomplishing things. And I was talking to Brando at our little get-together, and he was finally feeling job satisfaction and feeling like, yeah, my life isn't literally just about working, and working is kind of just a means to get money, and so you just do something that you can tolerate, and then you find satisfaction through doing other things in your life. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I figured that out earlier this year, and then I kind of stopped feeling that way when I wasn't working as much. And then I'm like, everything's going to be okay, because
Don't worry, buddy.
I'm going to get work eventually, and I have plenty of money, and life is about having fun. And not worrying about your job all the time, and if you're making the right artistic decisions, and if you're fucking stagnating in your filmmaking career or whatever the fuck you're doing, because no one gives a shit, and it's all dumb and gay. All that matters is that you're having fun and staying alive.
In the words of the Bee Gees.
Yes, the Bee Gees literally said that everything is gay.
Correct.
Don't worry about it, bro. Okay,
Don't
I made
worry,
it.
buddy.
I made it up here. What's up
Nice.
here?
Where's the eyeball?
Yeah, where's this eyeball?
There must be. He's got to be around
Per
here.
se, so to speak.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck me. It was quite the physical feat getting up here. I feel as though I should be rewarded. What is this? This is a thing.
I can't believe the eyeball's not over here.
Maybe he's around the bend. The bend 10. I'm not gonna make it this time. Fuck. Oh god. Well, I'm on a ledge. That's it for this episode of Pick and Hope. We clearly have nothing else to say.
I've talked about all the important things that happened.
Yes, we talked about the things. I'm sure there's, like, literally every time we stop recording, within 5 seconds, I realize other things that I wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about. But, this has been an hour and 22 minutes, so.
Hey.
Like and subscribe, smash that bell, get fucked. Gaming!